In the mix with DJ Rambo Rich.
Okay, welcome to the What's That Music About podcast. I'm your host, DJ Rambo Rich, and in today's episode, we're speaking to a DJ from all the way from Liverpool called SCHAU5. So, for no further ado, I'm just going to get him to introduce himself and tell us a bit about what he's about and what sort of music he plays. So, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce SCHAU5. So, thank you. First of all, thanks for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. And if you just introduce yourself and tell the audience what you're about.
Yeah, no problems, Rich. Thanks a lot for having me on, mate. Really appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So as you mentioned, I'm from Liverpool, 35 years of age. Been DJing properly now for like the last 5 or 6 years. I mainly play house music. I dabble in a couple of other different genres, but it's mainly house music, and it's mainly like minimal and deep tech and that kind of underground sound.
So I think what we're going to do now is move to mixtapes and memories, the first round. So 1 second, we'll be back with that. Okay, so this is mixtapes and memories, and in mixtapes and memories, we talk about the earliest memories of music and how it got you into music. So to start that off, what's your first memory of music?
So my first memory of music probably starts from when I was young. I wouldn't say I was big into music when I was young. Like, my whole family listened to like a wide variety of music.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the exposure I got to at an early age. So like, my mum listened to like Motown and things like that. My dad listened to stuff like Human League and Erasure and Eurythmics, or little bits like that. My sister was heavily into like boy bands and girl bands, and my brother was into like his indie and alternative stuff like Oasis and Blair and all things like that. So I think that's what eventually kind of got myself into music, because I had that like exposure to that like wide variety of genres, and I ended up kind of going down a completely different route myself, and I ended up kind of liking rock and classic rock and heavy metal music, which seemed a bit out of left field, but that's just what I was into at the time.
I like that. There's a rich tapestry of music there, and I feel like the more you listen to like the music you don't play, the better you can get, because I feel like you take elements from that music and sort of bring it into your DJing, so it's really, really good you've got that.
100%, and I feel that's why like nowadays, like, I don't kind of like strictly stick to one genre. Like, if it kind of fits the vibe, I'll play it. You know what I mean?
I love that. So what was the sort of first like physical music you bought? Do you remember?
Yeah, so I think, what year would it have been? I think I was in year 5 or 6, and I remember buying a Papa Roach album when I was on a school trip, just from like a random kind of boot sale market type thing. Like, there was a Papa Roach CD going there for like £8, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting that. And I remember listening to that album back to back for ages, and just knew it like the back of my hand. I
mean, I really like that. I remember buying the Black Eyed Peas first album, and on the album, I think it's the second to last track or the last track, there's a duet with, well, not a duet, it's the wrong word, but there's like a
collab.
Like, yeah, that's the right word. Collab. I'm losing my marbles here. A collab with the Black Eyed Peas, and you think it wouldn't work, but actually they're still like authentically like the type of music like the Black Eyed Peas is and Papa Roach, but together it sort of works. It reminds me of that album with Jay-Z and Linkin Park a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like Papa Roach and Black Eyed Peas in that period of time in music could have easily done like a Jay-Z Linkin Park style of album.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that, to be fair. Like, it's not two groups of people who you necessarily put together, is it, like you say? But sometimes, as cliche as it sounds, opposites attract, don't they? And like, if it fits, it fits.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, it's a bit like with that Jay-Z and Linkin Park album. No one saw that coming before that came out. but then suddenly that works, and it's great how other music can help influence what music you're working on yourself. So
Yeah.
it's great. Quick sidebar before we move on. I remember watching like I had a DVD version of it where they like you saw like video of Linkin Park and Jay-Z working together. It's quite interesting. They before they did a load of like live gigs in America, they put like a questionnaire out like who likes Linkin Park, who
Yeah.
likes Jay-Z, and all the people that answered yes they liked both, they invited to the gig, which I thought was rather nice.
That's pretty good. That's a good little
But
marketing tactic as well.
but how many people probably did like ticked Linkin Park and then didn't tick Jay-Z or the opposite way around?
Mm.
And then you'd be like, "Oh my god, I could have gone to that. I
Yeah.
missed that." So yeah. So what's your first experience of DJing then? Take us back to like the first time you thought, "Do you know what, I really want to start DJing." How did that happen?
So I went to university in Newcastle. I'd say that was from 2011 to 2015. I'd say that's when I really first started getting my head into like dance music and house music and all things associated. And I remember there was just one event I went to at this club called Digital in Newcastle. And I remember being in the crowd and like there was a resident DJ there at Digital called Felix Leiter, and he just got the room popping off for every single event. Like he wasn't like necessarily the headline DJ for these events, but like he just got the room popping off for each and every event. And I remember like just saying to myself in the crowd, like, yeah, that's what I want to be doing. Like that's a bit of me. That's what I want to be doing. Like I want that feeling. Like I want to like make people feel the way I'm feeling right now. And I remember going to Maplin on Black Friday when Maplin was still a thing, and
I remember those days. Yeah.
bought myself a little Newmark Mix Track Pro 2 controller.
Right.
On a Black Friday sale for like £100. No idea what I was doing with it or anything. Got it installed. Got the Tractor software installed on my laptop and just kind of went from there, self-teaching. And eventually I just said to the lads who I live with, when we have the pre-drinks here one night, I'll DJ the pre, if that's all right, and we'll just see how that goes. And that was kind of like my first hands-on experience of actually DJing to people.
I love that the fact that you did that. Like you got your friends involved, which is great. Because sometimes I like families can't understand. Like, oh, why do you want to DJ? And you can be like, oh, don't be silly. What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? But it's nice that you got your mates involved and your mates were like, supportive there. That's a nice thing to hear. That.
Yeah, they were like the ultimate hype men, to be honest.
Nothing like that, but yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I must admit, I do turn up at some of my friends that DJ. I do turn up to their like gigs, like the ultimate hype man. So I know exactly what you mean there, man. So yeah, I think we're good on that round. So I think what we're going to do is move to the next round, which is on repeat. So 1 second, and we'll be back with that. Okay, so this is on repeat, and in on repeat we talk about your current challenges. So to start that off, what is your biggest daily challenge at the moment with the music and DJing?
I'd say the biggest one is probably working it around my current day job. So I do like a current bog standard 9 to 5 in an office. So I'll be behind a desk all day at a computer, and like there's just a lot of days where you find the motivation hard when you get home to kind of go again and like be digging for tracks or like learn new things or just do admin bits on the computer or like contact people, network, that kind of thing. And like it can just like drain your battery.
Definitely, I understand that. Yeah.
So like I find it hard sometimes to navigate around that because it's almost like you're having a 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5. So it's almost like you're never switching off.
I mean, I've been here myself, and it is like it's like you have it's a lot of pressure for people. Like if you in a 9 to 5, you get home, you probably have your food, have a shower, and then you're straight on to the next thing.
Yeah, because I think when like people hear I'm a DJ, they assume like, oh, I just turn up somewhere and play something. When in reality, it's like kind of like the hours of endless digging for tracks behind the scenes, like curating playlists and networking and reaching out to people, like constantly on your phone, messaging people, and
Yeah,
sometimes even a bit beyond that, like making your own artwork and that type of thing. Like it's an all round thing, and
yeah,
like it can take up a lot of your time, and like you don't really see any kind of financial reward for it in the early days either. So
no,
you're doing all this stuff kind of for free, but I suppose if you love doing it, it's worth the price.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I was trying to think what I was gonna. It is a hard one, isn't it? Like I say, I think like you. That's what I was gonna say. You were saying there about like that people don't see the hours. It's like when people book me for a gig that's paid, I'm like, right, I need to make sure this gig is like they get the money's worth. Essentially, that's what the way I always think about it. I'm like,
Yeah,
so I'm always like focusing on the minute details, like like what songs do I know that blend together in this style, and I like work out like a list of like songs that I know go to well together, and I get like a chain of like 5 songs together that I know will blend well together and for different occasions. So say if I need to bring the mood down, for example,
yeah,
it can do that. Or say if I need to like bring the energy up, I can do it over like a chain of 5 songs together that are sort of, oh right, the energy's up here now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so, but the point I mention all that is because of that takes time to practice that and do that and like
100%.
find the
Yeah,
tracks and then put them in your software and then go through them and see what works and stuff. And then that's not including all the stuff you've mentioned there as well. With I need to do a poster now. Oh my god, I need to invoice them. I need to. So yeah, it can become. And then if you've come home after work after all this, it's a hard. I mean, it can be quite stressful, hard, but I don't think we'd do it if we didn't love it. That's the
that's
thing.
exactly it. Yeah,
I think this is the thing that separates the men from the boys, really, because the people that don't love it eventually will just sort of, oh,
fizzle out. Yeah,
I'd rather be watching Netflix. Let's just sit down and watch that, and it wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? But like the people that are actually like, this is what I want to do, straight there every time. Doing
exactly.
doing that rep, as I like to say, doing the rep of like doing the work. So I love that, man. I love that. So so this sort of answers the question. What was it? So we said ask there what were the daily challenges. So what would you say is your daily success in regard to that?
I'd probably say that like despite all the challenges I just mentioned around like time constraints and things like that, like I always commit to doing something every single day. So
Yeah,
no matter how small it is, so even if I just end up doing like 15 minutes of digging for new tunes, if I found 2 new tunes, that's like a win in my eyes. So like I
yeah,
find like small and often consistent steps are better than like big unattainable goals that you might kind of put off for a while and end up
yeah,
not accomplishing, because as long as you're doing something small and consistent, it's gonna like build into your routine and you're gonna stick at it. So I find that a personal win, to be honest, that I keep doing something every single day that helps me progress towards this goal that I'm trying to go for.
definitely. I mean, like I'm a big. I've got like a big pad that's got like the days of the weeks on, and I write out the month on the different pages, and then I put each week. Each week I've got things coming up. I put the gigs and everything, and then I've got like a pad that I just write my week's to do list, and
Yeah,
each day I sort of like tick something off. And But like, if you do, like you say, if you do something every day, then you're gonna get there. But it's when you don't. I feel like the biggest thing I would advise people is it's just doing the small things because they add up so much.
They do. They
Like
definitely do.
like that half an hour of practice you do a day. If it's only just half an hour, it's better than nothing. And like I say, it's just. I think they call it marginal gains.
Yeah.
So we're going to get 1% better today. And then tomorrow we're going to get 1% better. But by the end of the week, if you did that 7 days, you could be 7% better by the end of the week. So it all adds up. I love this, man. I love this.
Exactly. And it's like that kind of like that, like you said before, if you do like 30 minutes of practice one day, you could discover that one new blend that you end up doing in a gig that gets you noticed by someone.
Yeah.
Like it could make all the difference, can't it?
Definitely. So, what are you currently working on at the moment then?
So I've started a new events brand with my mate Elliot Finnan, called Grooveline Events. So we want to bring more underground sounds to Liverpool. And we want to like get kind of everyone involved. So like we want to get local up and coming talent involved. We want to run like regular mix competitions. So like we're probably going to be aiming the first one at like students. So like up and comers, new to the city, like give them a real like kind of like good chance at a foot in the door. And just kind of grow the brand from there, really. Like we just want to like throw amazing fun parties for you to come to.
I love that, man. So where did the idea of this come from then?
So I'd kind of had it in my head for a while, and it just got to a point one day where I was like, right, I'm just going to commit to it and do it, otherwise it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And this lad, Elliot Finnan, like I'd only met him like for the first time like a couple of months ago. I got him down to do one of my guest shows on Savara Radio, and like the kind of musical synergy on the show just kind of clicked instantly. Like it was just one of them. If you know, you know. Like,
yeah.
Like we've got like kind of the same mindset. We want to do the same things. We've got the same music style. So I was like, mate, just come and do this with me. Like, if you're happy to, like, it just makes sense. Like, we both want to do the same thing. We both want to like bring this underground sound to Liverpool, and just kind of like throw the best parties. And it just makes sense to. So come and do this with me. And he was more than happy to. So now we're just currently finalising things on our first event that we're hoping to have before the end of the year.
I mean, I love that you found like a mate that you can. It's always better. What I'm trying to say is, it's always best when you find a mate that is into the same things as you, and like you can then like do an event or something together. Because like it just is a better thing than doing it on your own. Because I've done a few events on my own, and it is quite a lot of. You take all the pressure yourself, but when you've got someone else, one, you can share that pressure out, but also it's great you've got a friend there. You can enjoy it more. You know what I mean? You can actually. This is why I wanted to do it, so you can enjoy it there. So in terms of music, you were saying you want more of an underground sound. So what sort of music are we talking?
It's like kind of stuff in the minimal and deep tech and house kind of genres, like in terms of underground sound. So kind of stuff that you'd hear on like EastEnders and PIV, Up the Stuss, just those kind of sounds, really. I don't think there's enough of that in Liverpool, so we want to bring more of it to here.
So, in Europe, what would you say is the sort of mainstream genres of music in Liverpool? Because it's different, the music vibes in city to city, I find. So, what would you say for Liverpool? Are there like, if you went into like the main part of Liverpool club, where the clubs are and everything, what is going to be the main music they play?
I'd say it's mainly like house and classics and old school.
Yeah.
So like I feel like there's a lot of like kind of events that focus around that, like kind of like the classic disco hits and old school rave hits and old school classic 90s house hits, which there's nothing wrong with, like, because I love all that kind of music as well. I just feel like there's a bit of a gap to bring more of that underground sound into the market, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I ask it, because I wanted to know what. So, is R&B quite big in Liverpool?
There's a couple of places. I wouldn't say it's like a massive thing, but I feel like there's always a couple of places everywhere that kind of like cater to a specific market.
Yeah. It's just interesting to know. Like I say, I thought, would you say in that it's interesting to like see the opposite of that and think, okay, so you want to do this. So what is the mainstream? And it's always good to see that. Like I say, no, I love that, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you were saying that also that you've got a monthly radio show.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, sure. So it's called SCHAU5 Radio, and it's not like a mainstream kind of radio station. It's like I was saying, it kind of like caters to the sound I like playing, and some of the people that you see come through the station play like these really like kind of fresh and unique sounds, and it's really refreshing to see. So how that all came about was, I think I've been on the station now, I think it was 3 years Tuesday actually was my first show.
Cool.
And it's only been going 5 years. Oh, thank you. It's been going about 5 years. I used to attend an open deck event when I was first starting out at Camp and Furnace in Liverpool, and the events manager who worked there, Becky Rascal, just happened to hear one of my sets one day and thought I'd be a good fit for the sound of SCHAU5 Radio and that they were looking for people. So put me in contact with them. I reached out to them and never looked back, really. So I do a show once a month. I did that for a while, and then I've just decided to freshen it up a bit. And in the last few months, I've started doing Scouts and Friends shows, where I invite a guest on and we have a little chat, kind of like we're doing now, just about anything and all things music. And then we do a bit of a back-to-back for an hour, and
cool, man.
Gives like up-and-comers like a chance to expose themselves, and like just like kind of people who I want to connect with really as well. Like helps me to network with them and like just kind of connect on a new level, and I feel like everyone's getting something out of it.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point you make there, because like it's always good where everyone benefits from it. Like there's no sort of like one main sort of benefiter. So I like that, man. It's great. And the main thing is like I always feel like I always forget this, but obviously you enjoy that. But what do you sort of enjoy most about it?
I think just like the ability to like kind of try new stuff out in like a stress-free environment. Like,
yeah,
I remember the first few shows, I was actually really nervous to like play in front of a camera, which sounds very strange. Like I'd played in front of people before, and yet I think everyone still, like, regardless of how big you are, still finds that a bit nerve-wracking playing in front of people. But I was playing in an empty room to a camera, and for some reason it just put me really on edge, and it took me a couple of months to get over that. And now I just feel completely relaxed in front of the camera, like it's not even there, and like I just kind of get to express myself more now as well. And like that's probably the main thing I enjoy, actually. Like I probably get to like express myself and the music that I want to play with like no judgment, no restrictions. Like I just get to do it how I want to do it and put my sound out there.
Yeah, it's good because like sometimes when you like play out at a gig, like you can be told that the music's this genre of music, but then you get to the venue, play the genre of music they've asked for, and then the manager comes over and says, "Oh, can you play something a bit more with a bit more energy?" And you're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then Oh no, I don't want that music. Sorry, what you? You're like, oh,
there's been a few of them down the years as well.
You're like, oh my god, like you said, like for example, funky house music, and now you want me to play R&B. Make your mind up, please.
Exactly. Total switch up.
If this was the case, just play Spotify. Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Like,
it's one of those, isn't it? Like, but I mean, sometimes that's a tricky situation to deal with. But I feel like as long as everyone's nice, that's the main thing. Because I feel like sometimes confrontations can teach you, like a situation like that can teach you more about like DJing than like a gig that just goes perfect.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're like, oh, okay, so I'm trying to deal with this, and then I'm still trying to mix all these songs together.
That's
and
it. It's like
spinning plates.
The challenges help you grow as a person. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I think what we're going to do now is move to the last round, which is Dream Big. So 1 second, and we'll be back with that. Okay, so this is Dream Big, and in Dream Big, we talk about your future aspirations. So to start that off, who is the dream artist you'd like to collaborate with, and why?
It's a good question, actually. I think, in around this time, it might seem a bit cliche, but I'd have to say Chris Dussy. Like, I think he's just, like, for me, the main man at the minute. Like, the sounds he keeps knocking out are just ridiculous, and some of his tracks, like, I just have, like, on repeat all the time. His productions are amazing, his events are amazing. Like, he seems to, like, he doesn't just, like, collab with anyone, he collabs with the right people for his sound.
Right, that's an interesting point there.
And you can really show, like, you can really tell in his productions that he does that. Like, just the sounds he's constantly bringing are always unique, and, like, he's always playing, like, IDs that everyone is, like, begging on the knees for. Like, so he always leaves people wanting more as well, and, like, it just always gets people to his sets. And it'd have to be Chris Dussy for sure if I wanted to do a collab with anyone.
I love that. So, what is the dream festival, concert, or venue you'd like to DJ at? It's hard, this, because there's so many, like, but to narrow it down to one, it's like, what? Now, it's a bit like the collaboration. Like, for me, there's always, like, the Northern Star in my mind. I'm like, Pete Tong, that's the guy I would get straight away. But then there's like sub people, like, like, oh, I'd love to work with Beverly Knight and do like a production because she's got a great vocal, for example. So dream festival or concert or venue to perform at.
I'll give you a festival and a venue. So I think festival, it would have to be Creamfields.
Right.
Like, it's just kind of the local one for me, and it's like, it's something that's always been there and that I've always known about. I've been to quite a lot myself. And I think, like, if I played Creamfield, to just be that would probably be the first kind of, like, I've made it moments. Like, this is what I'm doing now, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, like, that would mean a lot to me to play a Creamfields from kind of like a local standpoint. And from a venue perspective, and weirdly not from a local standpoint, I think the dream venue for me would be Digital in Newcastle, which I mentioned a bit earlier. As, like, that's kind of like where it all first started for me. That's when, like, I first realised I wanted to do this. That's where I've been to some of the best events I've ever been to. If I could play to a packed out Digital nightclub, that would be, like, bucket list stuff for me.
I love that. It's funny how, like, you were saying there, like, that was a moment you realised this is what you want to do. Like, it is weird when you do something like music and, like, you have those moments, but then you look back and you only realise when you look back, you go, oh my God, like, that was a moment. Like, I did one recently where one of the biggest venues in Preston. It was like a bank holiday event outside. All the other bars are around you. The speakers, like you're exposed basically. Everyone's going to hear the sound you make, and everyone's going to see you DJ. So
Yeah.
there was a bit of pressure, but then like I did it, and I do feel like I smashed that set. Right, personally, that's my personal opinion anyway. The audience might say different, but people were dancing, so I must be doing something right. Anyway,
100%.
but when I look back on it, I go, do you know what? That was a moment where I realised, do you know what? I can do this, and I should be doing this. Do you know what I mean? And it was one of those moments where I was like, yes, I did the thing. Do you know what I mean? I sound like Jeremy Clarkson there, but no, I did the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like it felt good, like like, and then but it becomes a bit addictive. I find like you just want more moments like that. But obviously, not every gig's like that. But no, it's interesting you saying about that made you realise you wanted to do. That's what was thinking in my head. So if I just share that, man.
It's weird because like I can remember the moment like it literally happened 5 minutes ago. Like I can remember where I was standing, like where I was standing, like what time of the night it was, like who was playing. Like I remember it like it was 5 minutes ago.
Another thing, also quickly, they had a mixer I hadn't used before, but the two different like the this is where beat matching comes so important.
Yeah.
Right? Because the two screens, like there was some issue with the screen. I can't remember what it is now. There's some issue with the screen where I couldn't see it. It was if it was like when you just do a little nudge and stuff, right? Obviously, I always listen, but like you couldn't see it really, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to just zone in here, close my eyes, really listen to what the beats are doing, and like boom. And then I was like, oh my God. And I'm listening as before I drop in the song. I'm like, yeah, that's good, that is. And boom, up the fader went. And I was like, oh my God, I actually can do this. And that was another reason why I was like, oh my God, I can't actually do it. Because it was a challenge. Because I really had to be able to beat match and game that gig. But yeah, it still worked out. So
yeah. It's funny you mention that because I had a very similar moment. When I went to like an open deck night about 3 or 4 years ago, it was kind of like one of those cross open deck nights. So it was like digital and vinyl.
Right.
And I remember the guy before me was playing some vinyl, and I just kind of went up to start my slot like I would with any other time, and it just dawned on me in that moment, like I've got to mix out with this vinyl, and I hadn't like kind of no idea to.
Right.
So I was like, God, how am I going to do this? And like you've seen on some of the modern mixes now, it has kind of like that that beat button where if you tap it, it gives you kind of like your BPM. So like I had to just like think on my feet and tap that and kind of get it roughly in time and decide how I was going to bring it out. And I managed to do it. And I was like, oh Christ, like how have I managed to do that? Like I've got away with that one. But like it just goes to show in those moments, like, you can do it. You know what I mean? And like all these doubts that you kind of have about whether you can or can't do it. It's like it's the moments like that that really turn it around for you.
I love that, man. But it's really like that's where the practice comes in, I think, because it becomes muscle memory. Like muscle memory, you just like sometimes I'm like after the fact I'm like I just did that. I didn't think about that. Like I say, you automatically do some things sometimes. Like I did a gig recently and like half an hour went like so quick, and I was just putting the next track on, and the guy came up and said, are you going to put one more on then? He was like, oh, you can have one more song, it's all right, we liked your music. I was like, what do you mean? And I looked at the time. I was like, oh my God, half an hour has gone pretty quick there. So
it does go so
great,
quick.
Man. Yeah, like I said, but I think if you're enjoying something, it does. So there we are. So I really enjoyed this conversation with you, Scouse. I Yeah, I just
Same,
want
mate.
to thank you for coming on for the interview and speaking with me and giving me your time. And it's been really interesting speaking with you. Now, this is the question I've started asking at the end. So where can people find your content, and how we spelling the name they need to search, just so that people can find it?
So you spell Scouse SCHAU5, and you can find me on Instagram at SCHAU5LAA. You can find me on TikTok at SCHAU5DJ, and you can find me on YouTube at Scouse. And you can also find our new event, Grooveline, over on Instagram as well, at Grooveline LVP.
Love that, man. Yeah, so I just want to say thanks so much for coming on, and if you've got any updates, send it over to the Instagram. We'll put a post up for you, no problem at all. Thank you so much for your time, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too, Rich. Really appreciate you having me on, mate. Thanks very much.
You're welcome, anytime.
In the mix with DJ Rambo Rich.